Good morning. Good morning. It is the first Saturday that we are recording here in 2022, and we're so excited that our training pod today is on goal setting. For those of you that are brand new, this is your chance to really kick off a change in your life in this new year. For those of you that have been in for a little while, it's a good chance to reassess where you're going and make sure that you have clear goals for this new year. And it might even involve drawing a line in the sand and starting fresh. We've done that multiple times, and there is no problem with that. Our president, Ryan Thompson, on the call last week actually laid out a beautiful roadmap for us, and he talked through getting started all the way to A16. So we're going to be referring to that a little bit as we go through this, but I want to make sure that you have a clear path laid out as you come into this year. So pull out your notebooks, take some notes, and you might even need to do a little bit of back research as we get done here, but hopefully you'll have a clear path of where to start and how to move forward. So we're going to get down to business here. Okay, so the first step is if you haven't qualified for the 500 Club, you want to qualify for the 500 Club. So 500 Club within Actives means within your first 90 days, you're bringing in 10 business partners, not customers, but business partners who come in with at least a $200 pack or more. 10 people within that time frame will earn you an extra $500 from the company. But if you aren't within your first 90 days, we still want you to qualify for that because it starts momentum on your team. And we will honor you on actives.info. We have a leader page where we put anybody who has done a 10 distributor sign up in 90 days, and you get recognized there. So we can still recognize you. You might not get the 500 from corporate if you're not within that first 90-day period, but you can still be recognized, and we want to honor you there. So get your 10 and then let us know. We don't monitor that down through our team. So you'll need to let your upline know to let us know that you've hit that, and we would love to post your picture up there. So that being said, get your $500 done. He also talked about making sure that you get a check within the first month. So if you're brand new and you don't know what to say, or even if you've been around for a little while and you don't know what to say, utilize your upline, utilize the mentors around you, utilize the tools that are available so they can do the heavy lifting and the explaining. Your job is just to simply put people in front of it, whether it's the Zooms or the recordings or, there's lots of tools available, but make sure you're doing enough to get a check your first month. Very, very important. And if it's not your first month, get a check this month. January, or whenever you're seeing this, draw the line. This is your start month. Get a check this month. And then the next step is to make sure that you go A3. If you're brand new, that's a perfect goal. A3 is 5 people coming in with the $500 pack. Simple. If you're going for 10, 5 is halfway there. So start talking to enough people that 5 of them join you as distributors within a month, and that brings in enough volume to make you A3. If you've already been going for a little while, you might want to skip that step and jump to the next step. Step 4, Ryan says, is A6, and that means helping one person in each leg of your 4 legs go A3. And A3 is what? 5 people coming in with that $500 pack. Perfect. Okay, so today we want to talk about having short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. So the short-term goals we've just discussed: hitting the 500 Club, going A3, or going A6. Those would be the short-term goals over this month or maybe even the next couple of months. Those are the short-term. The mid-term goals might be, what am I wanting to accomplish here in 2022? Do I want to be an A10? Do I want to be an A12? Setting a goal of A16 this year, unless you're already like an 8 or a 10, that might be a little bit aggressive. It's not impossible, but it's aggressive. You don't need to climb a whole mountain in one day. People that set a path to go to the top of Everest know where their incremental stops are. They know how many days they need to rest in between. They know that it's not just a simple, I'm going to climb to the top. They need to have a plan. And it's the same thing with A16. If you just tell yourself, I'm going to be at the top and I'm going to have $1 million volume, your brain might shut down. It might look at that and say, that's an impossibility, and shut down and actually sabotage you. But if you break it down incrementally, that long-term goal definitely can happen for any one of you. And we're going to lay that out here in just a minute, how you hit A16. But it might not be your midterm goal. Your midterm goal for 2022 might need to be A10 or A12. So look at that and make sure that it's something that's accomplishable from where you're starting today. The long-term goals definitely can play out, but it's usually more of a 2 to 5 year plan to hit the top of a company for leadership. So then monitor your goals. You need to be holding yourself accountable in whatever way works for you. If you're a checklist maker and you like to make the lists and check them off, and that's an accomplishment for you and makes you feel good, a little pat on the back, then do that. I love making lists and I love crossing things off and seeing things get done. I also, if you can look over my shoulder, I have a board that is partly gold. You can't see it, but there's little lines on it, and there's a line for each level all the way to A16. So we're at A12, which we're a good portion of the way to A16, but those lower levels are the wider levels. They're going to take a little longer to fill in, and you'll notice over the next year or two that we're filling that in. So hopefully within a year or 18 months, it's filled in. That's our long-term goal, but we already have a head start. So your long-term goal might take a little bit longer, and that's okay. But have it in front of you. I have it in front of me. I see it every day. I also have books where I have all of my leaders and their goals written out. And so I know that by helping my people accomplish their goals, it puts me closer to my goals. And the higher you get in the company, the more that will be true. You don't necessarily want to focus so much on your own growth. You focus on helping enough people reach their goals that you automatically hit your goals. So we're going to jump back to Ryan's roadmap for just a moment. And he talks about hitting A6 by helping 4 people hit A3. I'm going to go back and touch on that. And the magic of that is because you're setting yourself up to have leadership in each leg. Now, let's look at the scenario. Maybe you're already in, maybe you're already in A5 or an A6, and you don't have leadership in every leg. That might mean that you need to go back and do that step a little bit more efficiently and a little bit more intentionally, because just by putting volume in, you can hit A6, but it doesn't position you to take the next steps that we're going to talk about here in just a minute. So it's really important that you find the leadership in each leg. If you don't have somebody who's trying to run in each of 4 legs, that needs to be your next goal. Okay, so the next step on Ryan's path is to hit A8, and that we do that by helping 8 people hit A3. So now you're looking down within your organization and helping 2 people in each of your 4 legs to go A3. And A3 is hit how? 5 people coming in with a $500 pack in a month. It has to be done in a calendar month so that the volume from those $500 packs helps you hit that 2,500. Otherwise, you're building it off of auto ship volume, and it's going to take a few more people. We're talking about the most efficient way to build today. So 8 people going A3 in a month will help you hit A8. Okay, and then he talks about A12 is helping 10 people hit A6. And how do we hit A6? 1 in each leg going A3. So then you're helping your people to identify people in their downline that want to hit A3. And it just incrementally builds. And now you're in A12. It's a lot more fun to hit A12, helping your leaders become leaders, than just hitting A12 on your own and going to the top alone. It's so much better to bring people with you and to build it incrementally together. If you have a long-term goal, you want to do exactly what we're doing here and break it down backwards. So the goal isn't just to hit $100,000 in volume. The goal is to find 10 people who have a dream and also want to be leaders, and help them hit A6. And that needs to be at least 2 in each leg, And then you're going to have a couple of legs, or even, maybe one leg that takes off and becomes more of a taproot, we call it. And it's got a little bit more volume and growth than the others. That's okay. That's normal. As long as you've still got leadership in the other 3 legs, you are okay. So helping 10 people needs to be at least 2 in each leg. And then the other 2 can come out of that big leg if they need to. All right, and then the next step is the long term of A16. The long term of that looks like 10 people. So if you've already identified your 10 that have gone A6, then it's a natural step for them to go to A8 and then to A12, following this same roadmap that you have. And they hit A8 by helping 8 people go A3, and they go A12 by helping 10 people go A6. And when those 10 people that you're helping go A12, you hit A16. So that's the magic. But if you just try and create $1 million business on your own, it's daunting and it's a lot of work, and it's not as fun because you get to the top and you're all alone. But if you have your 10 leaders that you've been working closely with and they're one step behind you, you're going to hit that level with them, and they're going to be right on your heels and wanting to hit that level themselves. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is it's important to know your rewards along the way. What are you going to, as you're accomplishing these different ranks, what are the rewards? If you have kids at home, it's so important that they know what the rewards are. They need to know if you're going to dinner when you hit this award, or you're doing a staycation for a night, or you're going on a trip, or you're getting the car, or you're buying the house and stop renting, or whatever the goals are, they need to know what the rewards are along the way. And if it's just you and your spouse, or just you alone, reward yourself. Maybe you go get a massage, or maybe you get a night, out with friends, or you go golfing with buddies, or you take a day and take that road trip that you've been wanting to take, and take some friends, and you're footing the bill. Know what the rewards are and have them written down. There's things that you can see, and there's things that you can't see. I've got my sticky note right in front of me that I see every day that tells me what our rewards are at 12 and 13 and 14. I know what's coming. I know what's ahead for us. You need to know what's ahead for you, and your family needs to know, because they sacrifice when you're doing a meeting, or you're gone, or you're helping your team, or you're training, or you're doing a road trip. They're sacrificing too. So they need to know what's in it for them. And then write down your goals and make sure that they're visible. Make sure that you know where you're at. Make sure you know what you're working for. You can see also over my shoulder our dream board. You can see a piece of it. We know what our goals are along the way, and we know what's going to be some of the fun things that we have coming. And you need to know what those things are, not just so that you have that in mind to work for, but there's something that happens with your brain every time you look at them. That law of attraction starts to kick in, and they're more likely to happen. So it's really important to have everything written down and visually be seeing it. Make sure that you focus on it a little bit of time every day, because the law of attraction can help make those goals happen faster. It's not so much about working hard. It's about working with an intention, with a plan, and then flowing grace and ease towards those goals. It should be fun. It should be enjoyable. As you're watching people's lives change, and you're blessing people with the products, and you're helping people that want to build this as a business, it's going to be fun along the way. And it doesn't really matter if people choose to do it or don't do it. Don't get hung up on the fact that everybody isn't going to be one of your 10. You need to talk to enough people that you find the people that are ready to make that change in their life. Your job is more like a server at a restaurant. Would you like ketchup with that? Would you like hot sauce with that? In your heart, you might think, yes, this is going to make your dish better. You should say yes. But they might not want ketchup or hot sauce. And that's okay. We don't take it personally. We just ask the next table, would you like ketchup or hot sauce with that? Our job is simply to ask. In our case here at Actives, we're asking, would you like to change your life? Would you like to have better health and better wealth and more time and the ability to go and bless the world and change your family's life for generations? Yes or no? If the answer is no, we don't take it personally. We just simply keep looking and ask the next table. We ask the next person, are you ready to change your life? Are you looking for a vehicle that can change your life? If they are, they might just be one of your 10, or they might say that they are, and then 90 days later, they're nowhere to be found. That's a natural part of the course, and it's okay. We're looking for people who are looking, and if you ask enough, you'll find your 10. You'll find your people that want to run all the way to the top with you. And that's the simplicity of this. We sift and sort until we find the people that want to build this with us. So set your goals, monitor them, make sure that you have an accountability partner, or you're checking things off on a daily level, or something that helps you monitor your growth. If you have an accountability partner, it's not their job to call you, it's your job to call them. They are there as a help. They're not there to be your boss. So you need to be checking in with them daily or weekly, or however often you set that check-in, and then hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable to yourself mostly, and to them if that helps you. But monitor your goals, set your goals, know what your long-term goal is and how to work it backwards. We've talked all the way to A12 today. We've talked all the way to A16 today. So whichever feels right for you, you can stop at whatever level you want to, but some of you may not be able to stop, because once you start the ball in motion, you can't tell what the people below you want to accomplish. And if their goals are bigger than yours, it just might push you further. But that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. And then know what your rewards are along the way, and then write them down. Keep them visible. Know what your goals are. People that walk into your house should be able to get an inkling that you are on a creative path, that you are accomplishing something big. Maybe it's in your pocket and you can feel it all the time. Maybe it's written in your car. Maybe it's written on your office wall. Wherever you need to put it, I would say put it as many places as you can to keep it in the forefront of your thought process and keep that law of attraction moving in the direction that you want to go. Thanks for being with us today. Make sure that you're setting your goals. Let's be intentional about 2022 and make this one of the best years ever. Thanks for being with us today.